A postcard journey with John Shelp through downtown Durham is a fascinating way to see history.
A wonderful way to learn about your town's history is through postcards. Well, I always loved Durham history, and I started to find postcards at antique shops at Brightleaf Square, and then I started going to these postcard conventions at small hotels like outside of Burlington and down the I-85 corridor, and you're looking through shoe boxes and you find a postcard of Durham, and that's exciting. But after a while that kind of gets old, and so eBay's my friend, and I'll find myself late at night waiting for the final seconds to tick down on an auction to make sure I get a postcard for Irwin Mills or workers in the tobacco factories. Some pretty rare postcards that I've come across. So this is just a small sample of my collection, and whenever I start to talk about the history of Durham, I like to talk about the Ridge. And here's a shot of downtown Durham. And right through the middle of downtown is the Ridge. And most of these postcards in the collection are of churches, cotton mills, tobacco factories, courthouses, banks that are on the Ridge. They're up in the elevated areas of Durham.
But the large city of Durham started small. It was first a traveler's rest called Pinhook.
So before Durham, 1830s, 1840s, was the settlement of Pinhook. And on the other side of town was Prattsburg. The railroad company came to Pratt and asked him if they could put a station there, and he said no, because it would scare the horses. And so they went another mile down the road, and they asked Durham, and Bartlett Durham said yes. And so we are Durham, not Prattsburg, because of Dr. Bartlett Durham. There were 2 tobacco warehouses here at the end of the war, and not much else. The largest troop surrender right down the road. We're 4 miles from downtown Durham, and after the surrender, soldiers emptied the tobacco warehouses, went home, ordered more tobacco, and that's what started the tobacco industry in Durham.
Perhaps Durham's first industrialist was Washington Duke, and John has an early postcard of his home.
This is a beautiful postcard. It's hand-painted, and we're looking at Duke Homestead. At the end of the Civil War, Washington Duke walked back from New Bern and started Duke & Sons Tobacco.
From pipe tobacco to snuff to cigarettes, tobacco played a major role in Durham's growth.
All right, we're standing at what is, historically speaking, the most important intersection in Durham. We have Old Bull, the oldest building in downtown. Right across from the train station, the old Durham Depot, which is right across from Bartlett Durham's house, the namesake for town, which is right across from the 2 oldest tobacco warehouses in town. We have a street in downtown Durham called Cigarette Street. We have Fatima Street. We have Chesterfield. We have all this tobacco history, but the Dukes, for instance, wanted to diversify their investments. They didn't want to just put all their money in tobacco, so they started investing in water power and cotton mills. So the Irwin Cotton Mills on 9th Street is owned by the Duke family. All right, so I'm standing right here at Irwin Mills in West Durham. 5,000 people worked here. By 1905, in fact, more people working in cotton mills in Durham than in tobacco factories. And for many years, Durham had as many millionaires as the rest of the state combined.
Another watershed event in Durham's history was when Trinity College, now Duke University, was invited to move to Durham.
Struggling, far away from the nearest telegraph line, low student enrollment, Trinity needed to move to flourish, and they chose Durham over Raleigh. This is a postcard of Trinity College. We're standing right here. Just across the way, Teddy Roosevelt stopped his train, said, "Gentlemen, I've never heard so much noise." It was all the bells and the whistles from the tobacco factories and the cotton mills that were here greeting the president.
Of course, all stories have their characters with conflicting pasts. Meet Julian Shakespeare Carr.
Carr was a white supremacist, and he was a member of the KKK. In the early history of Duke University, no one was more important than Julian Shakespeare Carr. He backed up their loans with the banks, so he kept the university afloat. All right, we're standing in front of the estate of Julian Shakespeare Carr. He was an industrialist who was involved with tobacco and banking, the Confederate alumni, and all we have left is the parking lot.
Blacks persevered in Durham despite the obstacles erected against them. Perhaps the most vivid Durham destination of that era is what is now called Black Wall Street.
Mechanics and Farmers Bank, because black families couldn't get loans from white banks. North Carolina Mutual, because black families couldn't get life insurance from white companies. These and other companies grew to be very important, and in fact, W.E. Du Bois and others who have come, Booker T. Washington and others who have visited Durham would say in speeches after, you haven't seen anything until you've seen what they're doing in Durham.
To see more of John Shelp's Postcards of Durham, find him on Instagram at Postcards from Durham.